Okay, good morning once again. Welcome to our ITDB 401 Advanced Database application. And, uh, and today we're going to work with Oracle Apex, particularly on working on a different kind of data type, and which is the blob. So considering the blob is a kind of data type that we can store a large file. So which means this kind of blob stands for blob is binary large object. So which means we will be adding on this data type in one of our tables. Say for example, we are requiring to add an image or picture of your product, and at the same time you are also going to display in our page. So definitely we can also update the images from your table. Okay, so allow me to share my desktop. Okay, so this time I'm now in our Oracle Apex environment, and say we can still work on the order system that you had done during the midterm exam. And particularly, let's open up the product table, right? The product table. So just recently or yesterday, we have just added this price, and yeah, that is a couple of days ago because we need to do some aggregation there because yesterday we have done the custom authentication. So this time, suppose you wanted to have another type of file, which it would be a large file or a kind of typical file that you can attach, such as images or JPEG files. So any type of MIME type of an image. So and then we will going to display somewhere here in our product. Say for example, this is iPhone, this is Nike sports shoes, and computer table. So we'll just demonstrate example. We will download a shoes, and we will display it over here in our interactive report with the picture. But of course, when it comes to forms, the forms needs also to add one page item there, which is the newly added column, which is the picture that we could enable to browse the file and attach the file and apply the changes, and automatically it will store it from our table, which is the product table. Okay, now let's head on to our object browser, and we will just add one column. Okay, we will just add one column, and we'll name this column as picture. Any name will do. We'll name that one as a picture, but the data type, let me zoom this one down. The data type should be a blob. It's a binary large object that we will enable to upload or store large files. Okay, and then suppose it's nullable, which means it's an optional if we wanted to insert a picture. And anyhow, since our data table is already populated, so it's supposed to be nullable first. And then let me just click next, and so that this column will be added. Now you can see that the picture is already added or altered from our product table, and the data type is blob. Okay, once again, what's the meaning of blob? Binary large object. So which means we're now capable of storing large files within this database, or particularly in this table. Now, of course, we have to head on to our application, and the application that we have done during the midterm was ordering system, right? Right. Suppose I have run already the ordering system, right? Only unfortunately, I think in the product form we have done some dynamic action. I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Let me see. If I open the form of a selected product, yes, it was disabled. Yes. Okay, this is only for product available. Yes. Okay, which means we have to select the Nike sport shoes. Means since the product is not available, yes, now we can enter. So this time, how can we add this newly added altered table, which is the blob, which is the picture? Okay, we could start in the interactive report or either here in the form, but it depends. But anyhow, both of these pages should be updated. Okay, we can just edit this page. We can edit this page since we are already here in the form, and we have the toolbar here at the bottom. So edit page 5, and we'll head on to our page designer. Right. So remember, this is a form. Okay, this is a form. Actually, it's quite easy. No need to um, what do you call this one? No need to manually add an item from the bottom and then insert over here in our region product. But rather, the best solution is we can just right click the region and then synchronize the page items, synchronize the page, which means for the recently added column, definitely it will add on to this synchronized page. And if we click this synchronized page items, there you go. See, the P5 underscore picture is automatically added, right? So this time, what are we going to do is the picture item or the yes, the page item P5 underscore picture is by default it was in text field. You can see here on the right side panel that it was automatically only set as a text field, but we don't need this one. Remember, this is a form. So if we have a text field, so how can we add or attach a picture or any kind of file? But rather, we will going to change this type of this newly added page item, which is the picture of P5 underscore picture, and changing the type into a file browse. See that one? A file browse. So definitely there will be a button there and there will be a dialog box that will pop on your screen and you will going to select for the file to be attached. Alright, if we change that one to file browse, you will find now some settings over here at the bottom with the same page level item, which is P5 underscore picture. So anyhow, this is a label. We'll do as a picture as it is. But the most important here is the default here of the setting is only shows inline file browse inline. We need to change this display as like a native browsing settings by just selecting this option. So although we have four different settings. So we have also inline drop zone. We can just drag the file within that box. Or basically, we can just go to the native file browse. This is the typical attachment that if you click browse, a dialog box will appear. So which means you have to search the location of your file needs to be stored, needs to be attached. So if I select native file browse, there you go. You will find the storage type by default as table apex underscore application underscore temp underscore file. But we don't need this type of storage. We wanted to store it from your blob file, particularly from that added uh, or altered or newly added column. So of course, once that we have changed the display as to a native file, we have also to change the data storage type, and that would be a blob column specified in the item source attribute. Right. So if I select this one, although there are only two options there, So we don't need the table apex application temporary file. So we need the blob column file. There you go. Actually, we have some other options to fill in, like MIME type, file name, column, character. But say we'll just leave this one for a while and save it. And save it. Right now, we could not run this one because this is a dialog page. So anyhow, we'll just open up once again here in our application, and you will see that now you have that image, I mean that item, which is a browse native browse file. If I click this choose file now, by default there's no file chosen, and see there will be now a um, a dialog box that you need to search on, right? And suppose let's search for a Nike shoes example, and I'll just search onto the image and oops, images, and say any random picture of this Nike shoes will do. Say for example this one, right click, and I'll just save as image in my folder, right? And then just save it already. Now let's try to work on that one now. If I will choose that file which we just recently downloaded, right, and open, and you can see the attached there. This was the default file name that I have download or copy paste from the Google, of course. It's a Nike, it's a JPG or JPEG file. If I apply the changes, automatically it will head back here to your interactive report. But the problem is we haven't added the column of your picture in this interactive report. If you come back once again, you can see that it's already download link is over there, which means you have already chosen a file. If you check other record like this iPhone 6, yes, still empty, right? So now this time, how can we display that one from your interactive report? We have only a very simple debugging SQL statement here, uh, and that will only shows the picture or the image of your stored data from your table. So suppose now let's try to debug this and customize this interactive report, and by synchronizing as well. Of course, we will do synchronization again because we just recently added a new column. So see the picture is not yet here. We can do the same thing as well, like in the form. Right click the region and synchronize the column. Okay. By the way, I could not synchronize because I'm sorry, wait a minute. Because it's already set into a SQL source, right? Otherwise, it was if is it in table, if it's in table, of course we need to search for that table, and automatically we can do that synchronization. But anyhow, it's already in SQL, right? But okay, wait. Suppose I don't want to do the changes for now. Wait a minute. I will not save it. Okay, I'll show you once again. We cannot do the synchronization. Why? Because I think one of our class before we open up the type source into SQL statement. And anyhow, this is what we need. If it was in the table view, we can do that synchronize, right click, synchronize, and automatically the item newly added the column will be shown. But anyhow, this is what we need basically. Why? Because we will write a simple code by pulling out the the blob file within your SQL statement. So which means, okay, let me just click this code editor from our SQL query, and you can we can insert now here the new added column in a normal text type of your column. We can just write barely here picture. That's it, right? Like that one. Oops, spelling. Right. And when it comes to a blob, we this picture won't work like this only. We need to write a simple line statement here, but we will have a function of getting the length and getting the database management system functions, which is a built-in functions of Oracle Apex. It's like a typical PL function or expression. By writing it a DBMS, okay, remember this one, DBMS underscore large object, right? This is a built-in function of PL expression when it comes to pulling out your database that comes with a blob. And then we'll get the property of that one using a get length. So, which means by default, it would be the size of that picture. Only the problem is if the picture is so big, it will display as that same size. Otherwise, you have to crop that picture and make it small size. And then I need to put of course, the name of the column, which is picture, and we'll just make an alias like picture also, no problem. All right, this is anyhow, this is only alias, picture or image, right? So again, let me zoom out this one, zoom in. DBMS underscore lob is a built-in function from a PL expression, particularly in SQL, in Oracle. This means that it's a database management system underscore large object file with a function property of get length. So only by default, whatever the size of the image, it will come the same. But anyhow, at least we'll see if this one will show in our interactive report. Click OK and then save it. Right. For now, if we run this one, at least we saw the newly added column. It's there now on the far right, and it's only showing code 16882. Remember, we have uploaded or attached an image Nike shoe in this record. But which means how come it's not yet still showing? So which means we have to return back to that particular page item, which is the picture, and you can still see it was in plain text. It was still in plain text. So which means we have to change this one to display image, right? If we change this one into display image, we have another sets of blob over here at the bottom. So which means, of course, we have to select for that particular table, right? So it came from what table? And that is, I think that is table up to full or 2S. And it was in the product table, right? And select for that picture. Automatically, it's already there. The rest are wrong data type because it should be blob only. And select for the primary key product ID. And I think we're good now for this. So we have changed the type, display image, and then we have set some blob attributes that only needs the table name, where in fact only the correct data type will be shown there, which is only picture anyhow. Otherwise, if you have more than one blob, it will show also there. So you have to specifically select that particular column, and setting the primary key is the product ID. Let's save this one and let's see there will be a changes. If I run now this one, there you go. See, the image now appears on your screen. So only the issue is the size. Otherwise, you have to crop this one and make a small size. And you can also have standard sizes for other products. So imagine if I want still to change this one, plus you have to go to your form, and once again you choose another file for that. So I think I have one big file here. Let me try this. I don't know if this will update. I think it's the same file though, right? All right, so this will complete only our short class in the moment. This is just adding a blob column within your table, and it will just needed you to add also that particular added column as an element like a browse of a native file in the form. And when it comes now to interactive report, you have to write a simple code that will show this function. So dbms underscore log dot get length, and this one is the field name or the column name within your table, and this is just only a alias. And that will not finish there, because once you have added, you have also to need to change the identification of the type into a display image, and some couple of settings on the blob there, or three. We have to select the table. We have to select the field column that comes with the blob, and setting the primary key. And once that you save that one, your picture will be stored here. Unfortunately, I could not attach from the table because we have a dynamic action. I think so. Let's see. Yeah, because it's not included over here. Let me see. Let's say computer table. Anyhow, we're done now though. Computer table. Okay, so just a random computer table. Okay, let me save this one as an image. Okay, this is a computer table. It wasn't added from included from our dynamic action, because just now we have recently added this, because but the rest are all uh, disabled now. So let's say computer table, and then apply the changes. Okay, sorry, we're not allowed because this is in dynamic action. So anyhow, if I remove the dynamic action, of course we could attach that one there. All right, so that will end up our session. So it's quite a simple though, and at least we can also add on this one to our mini project by adding this kind of facility, right? So to full, thank you very much. And sorry, Fatima, at least this is already a recorded session. And let me just stop the recording. Anyhow,